the way in maps, but can Optic bounce back on the map pick of Astralis? Device close towards long, backs off as soon as he sees contact. It's Glaive trying to push up towards middle, but dealt with by MSL.
Yeah, completely alone in that position. dupreeh might go for a bit more of the same, though. There is a flashbang available. Zip, I think, is about to deploy that one, so it means that dupreeh can clear top mid. However, Optic are much more focused on A long, and they have those 2 smokes for the cross.
But Astralis have read this well. You know, they've got the players already on towards the bomb site, 3 players currently on the A side itself. They've got a 4th player rotating off to cover off mid, but here comes the push from Optic in towards long. It's going to be difficult to deal with. Device with a headshot, picking up Tessus. Zipnex able to step in with one as well. It's all on to the remaining players of Optic. A 3v3 as KGB pulls it back, but Magisk and Device line up 2, and the bomb, well, it's on the floor. Config has to try and recover that, and Zipex just watches for it. So 1-0, Astralis find the pistol, and just really the aggression towards mid gets enough info for Astralis to be able to stack the A bomb site.
Yeah, and then once Astralis stack the A-bomb site, they get a little bit aggressive, even through the smokes. Zipex decides he wants to go ahead and take the fight, making sure that Optic can't just run on towards A for free, which we see a lot of times on that T-side pistol. Astralis not willing to let that happen, and after A long worked so poorly for Optic, they've all gone over to the B side of the map this time.
Well, early near damage down on towards MSL and Config. Not a whole lot to write home about at this point. Optic will start to throw utility on it. Smoke for the CT cross. Wall of smoke's there, but dupreeh goes into the middle of them. But a flashbang meets his face. Will do some damage on towards MSL, but not the kill just yet. No first blood drawn. The Device might just be the man to collect that. Pulls his pistol, still gets a kill, but that is still not a win for Device. He does fall. Config able to pick up his rifle, and he's got 2 kills to his name. Finally, Magisk steps up, and it's all on Config. 1v3 here. It would be the ace clutch coming in for him. He's got nearly the chance in the 3rd, but dupreeh gets rid of him. And it's 2-0 for Astralis.
Yeah, Device clearly just not expecting players to be sitting in that smoke.
Could have got messy there.
Yeah, definitely could have. But thankfully, Astralis had the players on the B site itself winning all of those fights, so they don't lose both mid and B control. They managed to hold on towards B and then close out the round win. Optic with 1 or 2 pistols brought into this round. A couple of flashbangs for Cajun, but a bit of aggression from Astralis. The nade bounced back to slow them down, and Zip is going to find the first frag. Make that a 2nd to his name. The MP9 doing damage, and this round has not really come through with anything from Optic.
This could be a very similar storyline as to the Liquid game earlier, right? We come in, plucky underdog, prepared on a map that is a shock factor. They play well on that map, but when they come into the second press, a little less prepared, they just get steamrolled. And that's the great thing about this format, right? Because we don't get to see those best of 1 upsets because we have got the best of 3 straight away.
Wow, this is a massive A long stack from Astralis. 4 players there. MSL, though, had a good B spawn with his AWP, so dupreeh is definitely not facing here. He uses his nades early. He's going to make sure he's safe. The question is, do Optic want to risk running through the smoke, which I think they clearly do not. So early into their first gun round.
Yeah, as soon as they fire shots there, I think that's a sign they're just not going to go, right? Because if you're going to use that smoke, you're going to play contact. You're going to get close, get everyone to explode out. But obviously, rattling shots off, they relocate. 3 players back in towards middle.
And now that Astralis have fully taken A long control, they've let Glaive get nestled into that corner behind the doors. They really heavily rotate back around into a more default setup, just with Glaive having good presence towards A long.
Oh.
Question is, can he get more than 1 kill from this position? Because he's got no support.
Well, there's the first kill, spraying away through the door, connects onto Tessus. He might just get 3. MSL will get rid of Glaive, though. And it's into a man advantage for Astralis. Just 1. Could have been far worse for them there. At least the trade comes in towards Glaive. Flash keeps Device off the angle. He peeks into the opening. Cajun B takes his head off. So quick indeed, but MSL, that's the bomb. It's dropped towards long, and Optic have to try and recover it.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting to see. MSL was alone on A long, thanks to glaive finding the 2 kills. And then he loses the fight, the all-important fight. He even gives the AWP to Xyp, who is putting it to use. Nice shot from Config, but not enough. Magis comes in with the cleanup. Astralis take an early 4-0 lead.
This is solid stuff from glaive, right? Just holding off, gets the second through the wall, and swings a little bit wide, and MSL is able to flick on over. So 4-0 for Astralis. Good start on Dust 2 here. Optic didn't really look like there was much of a chance there in that gun run, unfortunately. So they're going to come into this one saving most of the money in the bank, but they can afford some Kevlar, they can afford some utility, because obviously they've got that loss bonus coming up.
Yet again, Device's AWP has decided to get aggressive against the low buy. Not peeking mid this time, instead in towards short, and it pays off for him. Optic not really having the weaponry to fight the AWP at long range. They were maybe hoping that they could land a headshot, but that does not come through. And after getting the man advantage, Astralis seem pretty happy to just sit back, hold the bomb sites, make sure that Optic have no real options available to them. Magisk extends the advantage even further for Astralis, and at this point, it's looking good for the CTs. They shouldn't have too many issues.
Yeah, this was a relatively simple round for Astralis. KGB dropped to -95. He's dropped to 5 HP just at the Xbox. I think Device knows he's connected the shot. He was about to pull the nade, but doesn't want to get caught off guard. Magisk instead will take him away. And it's all on Tessus, 1v5. Don't really see a way in which he gets a whole lot done here. They know exactly where he is. He's attempting shots, at least. It's something. And in the moment, he will be dropped. And it's 5-0 here for Astralis. Solid start on the CT side. And obviously, looking at the stats coming into this, this is the defensive side that Astralis love on Dust 2.
Yeah, and they're really showing that early on into this one. Here comes the second gun round for Optic, though. Perhaps looking to get MSL's AWP involved in the action. It's also worth saying that now Astralis have won so many early rounds, they've got quite a fair bit of money built up. MSL looking for an angle towards mid, but he's not getting given the opportunity. It's Optic instead taking control of lower tunnels, and glaive was over towards short. Decides to play a bit more passively. Oh, aggressive.
Oh no, that's the problem. Device, I like the idea. I love that he's confident enough to go for it, but Nico just holding it with a Krieg. That's the perfect gun to counter that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good off angle as well. Elevating himself slightly on top of the car just means that Device can't react quickly enough. MSL up close.
Whoa.
Glaive has taken the AWP. Glaive trying to bait out the shot, and MSL gets bailed out by his teammate.
I love that from glaive. That's the most interesting bit I've ever seen, right? But he walks right to 2 players. MSL does miss the shot, so it was effective. So unfortunately, wasn't really accounting for the second player to be there. Under a minute left. Optic starting to put pressure on towards the A bomb site. Plenty of utility left. They can smoke off the cross. They can smoke off catwalk. They also have Molotovs to clear the sites. This is looking good for Optic. Unless Xyp strikes, he will get 1 kill. Realistically, probably needed more than that 1. So this is looking good for Optic's chances to get there first, as Dupree's left in CT on his own. Flash comes in. He'll push forward. Follow-up is in as well. Vacation B's got the headshot. And there it is from Optic. They lose 1 player, but overall, a pretty solid take of the A bomb site.
Yeah, and it was really, again, Cajun on a pretty big lurk in that round, but he wasn't really needed this time. Optic just winning the fights over towards long, then on towards the site itself. And Astralis have taken a switch up. Double AWP setup in play for round 7. Dupree, the man, electing to take a second sniper into this round. Haven't seen much early A-long aggression from Optic. They sometimes are going for it later in the round, but they're not taking the initial fights. That means that glaive gets control there, and Dupree is looking to take contact.
Cajun B's in a really solid angle to deal with this, though. Dupree has to be careful. He's going to walk right into it, looking for the angle, but the timing is not good for Cajun B, but he still walks away with it. The shot is landed. He's dropped to 17. But he's able to connect the headshot on towards Dupree, but it's back into a 4v4 thanks to the trade on Zipex. Optic setting up inside a middle, but Magisk, if he gets aggressive at the right time, he's going to bring that Molotov back in towards the B-bomb site. Yeah, that's really smart. But good peek from Zipex, that's perfect timing. That's the bomb as well. Tess is finished off, and Magisk, he's got to hold on to the B-bomb site on his own. He has got the help of Zipex, who just doesn't care about the smoke. It doesn't seem like Magisk is under much pressure himself. He deals with it easily. Finally, KGB gets rid of him, so it's a 2v2. B-bomb site is open, and well, Astrali is going to have to play retake. Oh yeah.
Big risk from Nico to run back, and Cajun B takes the nade. Nico gave away the information, and Glaive gets the spam through the box. Optic put themselves in a good position to win the round, but it just doesn't add up for them.
Yeah, you kind of expect Astrali to have to work for that retake, right? Not just a grenade thrown through the window, device connecting onto the player, and well, Nico's just standing there and wondering what's going on, and in the chaos, well, or in the confusion, should I say, Glaive comes in and drops him. So 6-1 here. Astralis leading the way on Dust 2. We'll see if Optic can answer back. You know, they did win their first gun round pretty convincingly, but after that, they kind of fell flat. We'll see if they can replicate their success, though.
And again, Astralis are sticking with these 2 AWPs. Optic oftentimes going for this early, not the aggression, but they're looking for the pick here, right? MSL a lot of the time just hoping to hold the angle. This time, though, they're going through, and the nades have done significant damage. They clearly thought about pushing that B bomb site, but decided against it after taking so much damage. And now the question is, what other options do Optic have? Because Cajun B has also been chunked down to 2 points of health. Not the best start in terms of the damage done to Optic.
Three players from Optic up on short. Flash around the corner. No one playing aggressive from Astralis, but you can see the tracers. There's 2 players currently looking this way, and the utility is going to come in from Astralis. Optic were ready for that, so they didn't fully commit around the corner. Find the follow-up flash, and this time they will take catwalk. Is this where we see our first solid catwalk take? They execute a close smoke, one on towards the boost boxes perhaps, is the follow-up, one deep inside of CT. So here comes the push, it's Dupree. Not really flashed off the angle too effectively just yet, but there it comes, good flash. Zipex able to pick up MSL, but Config, he's dealt with after his first kill. So it's into a 4v3, 30 seconds left. Nico is going to get wrecked by Glaive, and it's on to Testis and Cajun B in a big and difficult clutch. But Cajun B grabbed both of those kills, and suddenly it's all on Glaive inside of the pit. He's got a good position, but Optic still have the advantage.
They need to get that bomb, though. They need to get that boost going. 12 seconds left. Glaive gets aggressive. He's trying to deny this one. He's trying to get the frag, and he only needs one more shot. Great work from Glaive. That first frag as well, straight to the face of Tesses. Make sure the bomb can't be planted. And at that point, it's all about winning the final fight.
Yeah, that's a great quad kill from Glaive, stepping up. But this was beautiful from KGB. Those 2 headshots coming in really delivers the chance for Optic. And well, Glaive, unfortunately, is the final boss, and they are not quite ready to take him down just yet. So, 7-1, Optic, no AWP. It's going to be the 5A, well, actually, I was about to say 5 AKs, but they've got a Galil in the mix on Nico. Cajun B burned down to 60 early. Astralis, this is the nade damage that they're so known for.
So whenever Astralis don't think Optic have an AWP, device peeks down mid and then gets boosted in towards short from Xbox. We've seen that a couple of times now. And I like this response, therefore, from Optic, realizing if device is having 2 players with him towards mid, A long is probably fairly open. I don't know if they're going to be able to get onto this site, though, because there's quite a few players here to stop them.
Yeah, device is here. That's going to be a big problem. Doesn't really spot the heads. Although they have spotted Zipex's head. Kill coming in early for Optic. They've got the man advantage to play with. And with that Molotov, that'll force Device back. He will get 1 kill. Has the help of Glaive on short. Flash goes over. Nade is so solid. Look how much damage has been done to Optic. The 3 players remaining are so soft. They have to try and get this bomb down as well. And Astralis not making that easy for them whatsoever. Flash is still coming in. KGB moves onto the site. But meanwhile, there's a flank coming out from the ramp. It's Dupree with 1. Finally, Device peeks through and Dupree will spot the last player. Config has no idea he's just been spotted either, and Glaive will finish him off. It 1 for Astralis. Just racking up the rounds, it seems.
Yeah, that's a very active round from Device with the AWP in terms of he starts by peeking down mid, gets boosted towards short, then goes back to the A site. It's kind of an opposite.
Right?
Yeah, it's an opposite of what you'd almost expect him to be doing, but it's a nice way when you know they don't have an AWP. That's when you can peek down mid like that.
Yeah, because you know
if you lose track of the economy though, oof.
Well, you're not going to be spotted, right? That's you've got a little bit more freedom to work with as an AWPer when you're the only AWP on the server. So, Optic, their first timeout coming through, and I definitely do not blame them. They've tried lots of different things. You know, they've gone for the catwalk execute. They've had the B plays. They've had the A long pushes. It's just not working.
And even when they got into position in that one round where they could have won it, Glaive steps up in the clutch. Again, at the Major, Glaive had quite a few maps where even when his team was winning, he would be negative in terms of kills and deaths. But here against Optic, he's been really solid.
I mean, you can tell, like, the money's not amazing on Astralis, so we've had a lot of these close rounds coming from Optic. So, I mean, it only takes 1 from Optic to be right back in this half, and Dupree has taken the headshot on towards Cajun B. Config will get a kill back in, but Glaive steps through with another. Man advantage still available for Astralis.
Ooh, Zip has to drop down, realizing TeSS has got past the Molotov. I don't know if TeSS can really expect to land one of these shots, though. There are players behind him on short, so maybe the A play is the call. 2 smokes left for Optic as well, so they can try and close the distance. And currently it's Glaive most committed to this bomb site.
Well, Config getting boosted over the top, but Glaive's hiding his head. Eventually will peek up. Flash comes in, and Config can't quite capitalize. Very difficult angle to deal with for Glaive. He'll come in. Config does get 1. A second coming in for Optic. It's off the back of TeSS' Deagle. And it's looking likely that Optic might just have a chance here. Bomb plant coming through. 2v2. Astralis, Device, and Magis still alive. 2 big players on this team. And they've got a Molotov and a Flash left and Device. And he's coming in from long.
The short battle might come through, though, because Optic are fighting.
Oh,
Flash
no.
is so good. Magisk ducks into the corner, but TeSS gets him in reply. Nice shot, Device. He's got the AWP in his back pocket. He's got the Molotov as well. He can get on the bomb.
Yeah, this is a 1v2 for Device. Molotov goes in towards Short. He taps the bomb. He's just going to go for the full stick. Hopefully he can find it. That's all he's hoping for. And TeSS has to peek into the open, and the Molotov burns him away. TeSS had no other choice but to go for that. Just hope that he can get a bullet off. But Device, he knows that and makes the right play. Defuse coming through, and you've got to feel for Optic. So close again.
TeSS landed shots as well. He could have got the headshot. It was an option. He just didn't quite nail it. You see here. Lands the shots, just not to the head.
So unfortunate. Well, small things going Astralis' way allows them to develop a very solid lead. And Optic's T side, it hasn't looked awful. They've got onto the bomb sites. It's just 1v1s, 2v2s, just not going their way.
Yeah, again, like you said, the money from Astralis kind of tells a better tale of this game than the scoreline, with so many close rounds. But again, Astralis continue to win in the clutches, and that's why they can pick a map like Dust 2. They've got the individuals willing to make those plays. Zip decides to back off, realizing there's no need to take any unnecessary risks, and Optic going straight back to this A site.
Well, KJB stood up. It's going to be Glaive inside of the pit. Great flashbang does damage. Follow-up flash has to come through. Finally, he will get his reward for the great flashbangs. He will get 2 kills, looking for a 3rd, but KJB will get rid of him. But he's so low. Device deals with Config, pushing in from short. And TeSS and KJB stand alone in a 2v3 here. Device, it comes down to timing. He's got a teammate back to help him, so he can try and look between 2 angles. He's caught off TeSS, but KJB into the clutch. 1v3, he's found the first.
Oh, Dupree has pushed up mid, but might not get the angle here. We'll see what Cajun's approach is. Trying to go in towards suicide. Dupree could definitely have an angle, but I don't know if he'll expect this position. Cajun is going to fall. I thought for a second that Dupree might have to land a really nice flick. But
I'm pretty sure he was looking there.
yeah, it looked like
so,
he had it locked down.
Yeah, he read it pretty well.
We got 3 AWPs, have we?
Yeah, Astrali's just rocking the triple AWP setup. This is probably one of the maps where it's viable. You know, it's you don't ever want to see it really, but if this is a map that it is viable on, perhaps they can rock it. But it seems like they are debating whether or not to keep it. Their money isn't in a great position, so it's not like they have that great luxury.
I think they have to keep it, really.
Well, Optic will call another tactical timeout. And again, they should keep their heads up high. There's been a lot of these rounds have just been 1v1s, 2v2s. Everything's working for them. It just comes down to the clutch, the post plants, and closing out the rounds, which is a skill in itself.
Yeah, definitely. And you do wonder if once this Optic team gets a bit more experience on some of these players, obviously Tesses is the only player who's really inexperienced, but I mean more experience as this lineup. That's when maybe the composure can come through. And Glaive looks like he's the tertiary AWPer of the team.
I'm just looking for this. Oh my god. Wow. Device peeks in towards middle. He will find that first kill. There's no shortage of AWPs on Astralis, but Device, he's got 2. Doesn't want to overextend, but he's going to go and try and get the timing right. That's a 3rd for him, and this is a buy round from Optic. They have rifles, they have utility, and Device with another one looking for the ears. They're coming towards him. Device finds all 5, and that is absolutely filthy.
Guys, if there's an AWP peeking mid, don't go out into the open against him. I mean, the bomb's gone, so they've got to try something.
That's probably the easiest ears I've ever seen against a gun round.
Felt like matchmaking, honestly.
It literally looked like something pulled from matchmaking.
Yeah, no real nades against him. No real difficulty landing any of those shots. Well, we were praising Optic on having so many close rounds. That's the opposite.
That is ridiculous. And they're keeping the triple AWP setup. Why not? Device was the only AWP that's seen action. Device was the only player that's seen action. And Optic got absolutely rinsed. 11-1. We'll see what they can do on the Deagles.
No nades for Optic. No CT smoke available. So this B split has to rely on landing this frag. And Device nearly caught out, but he's got his teammate there to help him. Zip comes in with a couple of important kills. The bomb is long gone for Optic. And it's only Cajun left.
As it's been quite a few times, sadly, Cajun has been left in these impossible clutches. And, well, Dupree will drop him. They're going to keep the triple AWP setup. Astralis. Dupree got 2 kills there. Obviously, Dupree was a player that was actually picking up the AWP quite a bit for Astralis. Back when Device was obviously feeling quite ill, they actually toyed with the fact that they wanted to keep Dupree as the main AWP, but I feel like that didn't really go too well. After they went to the major, I believe it was in Boston, they kind of didn't do too well there. Device rightfully went back to the AWP. But that just shows the depth. They do have all potential in this team.
Okay, flashes are good. Against these triple AWPs, you need these good flashes. You need to be able to force them off the angles. And Glaive takes a little bit of damage on his retreat. Boost is going to have to come through. Optic taking control of A long, but if they are a little unaware of these AWPs, then they could easily get taken down at range.
Well, Glaive sits on the back of the bomb site. Just waiting for a peek. He's also got Dupree lower towards CT. Why? They're just not going to expect this. They're not going to expect 2 AWPs to be looking at them, and 2 kills coming in the way of Astralis. There's a 3v5, and another kill from Glaive. It might just come through here. As Kasia B will actually drop him. So a good kill back. Oh. And his AWP presence is pretty mental. We called it an AWPer's paradise, but this really is. This is taking it to another level.
Definitely.
Well, AWP battles coming in left, right, and center. Dupree's on the card with an AWP. We have Glaive obviously being picked off, but still another AWP in the hands of Device. And Cajun B with an AWP in pit. So a lot of AWPs going on here towards A.
There we go. Dupree eventually peeks out, decides to just drop a smoke at his feet. So maybe there's a chance to get the bomb recovered. Won't be easy though. Astralis is still looking to fight this one off. A couple of smokes in play now. Dupree taking damage from the molly, but there's only 20 seconds. Optic aren't really going for this one. They're looking more to try to save, and they need to make sure they don't die after time. That's the main aim.
really does feel like a brick wall right now for them, though, because they got that long, right? But they just couldn't go any further, and this has been where they started and where they end the round. They didn't really do a whole lot, unfortunately. I think the early picks that came in from Dupree and Glaive were enough to just kind of stop Optic from going anywhere. So this is looking likely we'll see the 14-1 for Astralis, unless we have some crazy play from Optic. I honestly wouldn't mind some fast contact push in towards B, or just a straight up push towards Catwalk, because dealing with these ops, you know, there has been so many of them that, you know, if you overwhelm them with a lot of utility, a lot of fast players coming in at them, they can't get you all, right? That's the whole method behind that.
Yeah, it might not be a bad shout at this point.
They have dropped the triple op, though.
Finally.
Glaive, back to your rifle.
Wow, what else have Optic got up their sleeve? An AWP in the hands of Cajun B appears to be the answer. Again, Cajun's got the best B spawn, so we've seen Optic try to get the opening with the AWP over towards the B site, but Astralis have never really offered that up to them. Optic having a little look around, but they look focused over towards A long, and well, I thought Cajun might be taking the AWP for an early peek, but he just gives it straight into the hands of MSL. Quick aggression up mid from Optic, and they will have short control.
Indeed they will. MSL is going to be up here on short, looking over the top. Config forced back as the Molotov is going to keep 3 players at bay here on Optic. Magisk and Dupree sit inside of the bomb site on B. Optic, they've got Catwalk. What will they do with it? There's no real pressure towards A long here. Device thinks there could be a player in behind blue, but Optic instead this time haven't sent anyone out there.
Yeah, that also means that Device can very safely reposition from pit. I don't think he was too happy being there with the AWP. He goes back to this safer angle with the sniper. Optic taking contact towards mid, and there isn't anyone here to stop this from Astralis this time around.
2 great flashes coming in, but Dupree is going to hold off the B ramp. Good pick on towards MSL. Does he go for the repeat? He does, but not able to connect the shot. He'll go back again. This is just getting greedy, and he will eventually fall. KJB picks up 2 on the Galil. A good chance here for Optic to salvage 2 at the half. I mean, it's not much, but at least it's something.
Oh, Cajun trying to take a good off angle up on top of the box, but he doesn't quite get the kill on towards Zip. Astralis have to go for it. It's the last round, but the 3v3 retake on B is never easy.
Well, Cajun B, he's going to try and do his best work. Device, he will pick up one, but Cajun B has been the shining light. He's looking for the quad kill. There it is, all for the ears. He's looking for it all. It's Device looking for the clutch. It has to be the ears for Cajun B. Drops a low, going for the knife, and Device has got it. It's going to be 14-1 here, and Astralis, they give Optic the go-around. A very negative half. And Device is playing like a beast. Another player that's playing very well, though, is Cajun B, and I just got to feel so bad for this guy. He's done so much. He's got us so close, nearly having to ace to just win another round on the board. And unfortunately, he loses out to time. And here it is, the pistol in the second half. Optic looking to try and get back into this game. They've got to get it started here as Tessis finds the first kill on towards Magisk. At least they've got that.
And he manages to get away from Carr, which was definitely important. Device's P250 was certainly looking, and you can see Astralis is still spamming that car, perhaps thinking that TSS is still there. But now that they've got this boost, that gives you the full information. You can spot fully that there's no one in that position. So Optic will be known slightly more. Astralis don't have to worry about the car any longer, and with these smokes coming through, they'll look to take the site.
Well, Tessis in behind the smoke. MSL is going to boost them up on top of the A bomb site. They've got to get a little bit more than this. Good shot from Nico, looking for more, but Dupree will step in. Still doable here for Astralis, but Optic looking to try and hold off the site. Tessis, he has done enough to keep his team in it, but Config, he tries to go over the top of the boost. He gets one, but gets traded, and it's back into a 2v2. Astralis pulling it back. Bomb getting planted. Zip holding off the angles. KJB starts to run towards him. He's got the kill. MSL alone in the 1v2 clutch. Drops Zipex to 1 HP, but he still comes in for the triple kill. It's 15-1 here for Astralis. They're looking to try and end this.
Right in here, right now, it could be. 2 scouts for Optic. Desperation time for them. Been a real shame for them in this second map especially.
Yeah. I really feel like this scoreline it just does not reflect how close this game could have been. Very, very unfortunate stuff for Optic, but Astralis, you have to give it to them. Definitely looking indomitable as Device will take the headshot on towards Config. Bliv here in the back of the smoke. Tessis will throw the grenade on through, but MSL peeks in towards middle. There's the shot being landed, looking for the follow-up shot, but no kills coming his way. Dupree gets 2 kills. He wants this to be over. A 3rd kill for Dupree, and it's all on Nico. A 1v5, and I'm pretty sure we can just throw away the key here. Astralis should be taking Dust 2, 16-1.
And Nico getting some parting kills, perhaps, but I think